Hello everyone, my name is Alberto and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I wanted to show something a bit different. I play a lot of video games and one of those is Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a survival horror game and it's multiplayer, but it's an asymmetric multiplayer because you play with your friends, but there's one person playing the killer and 4 other people playing survivors. The whole objective of the game is for the survivors to escape the killer and either be like sneaky, or there's a bunch of things you can do. You can taunt him a little bit or not, which is not very sporty, but by the way, that happens. And in the game, while again trying to escape a killer, there's a bunch of things to do, but the main objective is to repair 5 generators around the map, and those generators power the exit gates, and that allows you and hopefully your friends to escape. So this is the gist of the game, in case you've never heard of it or you've never played it. And basically the objective is again to get to escape, but then every match gives you a certain amount of points that allows you to unlock several things, and you get these sort of power-ups. They're called perks in the game. But yeah, overall very fun game if you like this kind of horror survival. One of the characters that I use in the game is Nia Carlson, and I was looking through the skins in the game and I found these pants that I really loved. So I decided to try and sort of recreate them. I started with a pattern and a toile just to sort of understand how to make that specific sort of billowy effect. So I quickly drafted a pattern with these wide-legged pants and a sort of skinny bottom, because you cannot really see how the bottom of the pant looks in the game because she's wearing these sort of knee-high socks. I also added a pocket that wasn't present in the original pant because obviously you don't need it in a game, but also for some reason designers don't think women need pockets. Started cutting out the pieces separately before joining them, and you'll see why in a little bit. But I cut out all the pieces and overlocked the edges because they're gonna go through several washes. Cut out the pockets and the pocket lining. And the first thing I'm gonna do is attach the pocket. So first I attached the lining on the front of the pocket because I'm gonna turn it inside, and I'm gonna top stitch it, and I cut these notches to turn it easier. So once it's top stitched on the lining, this will allow us to get a super nice and crisp edge. Then I'm gonna do the decorative top stitching on the outside that's gonna keep our pocket in, and add the back of the pocket. So this way we're gonna have the complete front of the pant because it's better to have it in one piece. I did this little trial with pure bleach on the denim to see how I could obtain the design, because obviously in the pant itself in the game it's supposed to be an embroidery, but that would take several months. And I thought I could get a similar effect by bleaching a design into the pant and then dyeing them. So I marked roughly where the design is in the pant that I can see in the video game, and started the process of painting it with pure bleach. And this is because I want to lighten it as much as possible. So this took me several times. I had to go over the same design about 4 or 5 times per every single piece. And I helped myself with some hot steam between all passages because heat helps bleach to work faster. The drawback to this is that obviously since bleach is a liquid, it sort of bleeds inside the lines and you get a chunkier design than the nice crispy thin one in the original pant. But again, this is sort of the easiest way I knew how to achieve it, besides painting them with fabric paint, but I don't really like the effect you get with that. And this is the result after just the bleach. So after all the pieces were done, they were washed several times to remove absolutely all residues of bleach. And then I busted out this old pot that I used for dyeing stuff, and I used a bit of powder dye that I had and Rit lemon yellow dye. And after I put salt, vinegar and a bit of dish soap according to their instructions, and got it to the temperature they wanted, I threw in all my pieces and the leftover denim, because the blue background denim of course gets a different tinge, so it needs to be the same color. I did a quick test to check and then dyed everything and left all of them in the pot for around 4 or 5 hours with the heat turned off, mixing once in a while to check that everything was properly soaked. After rinsing everything again several times, this is the result. I have to say I'm pretty happy with it. I also started putting them together off camera because I've already showed several times in video how to do denim and pants. I didn't want this to get too boring. I started ruching the bottom of the leg in order to attach it easier to the zippered part of the leg, which I did in order to have a more comfortable wear, because they taper quite a bit, and this is gonna help us get a nice billowy effect on the top part of the leg. So to ruche that, I just did this very simple process that I'm gonna show you quickly. Going to the sewing machine, I used the longest stitch length I had on the sewing machine and sewn all around the part that I need to ruche, and I measured the length that I need to obtain using the bottom part of the leg, which is obviously smaller, pulled one of the threads of the stitch so to ruche the whole thing. And when I got to the measure that I needed, I sewn on top of it with a smaller stitch, and that will allow that to stay exact the same measure that we wanted. Then I joined them to the rest of the leg with just a normal stitch. And this is the result, and I have to say I'm pretty happy with it. It looks very, very close to what the pants in the game look. Off camera I've also added the zipper and done all the rest of the seams that I needed. I'm doing the buttonhole and adding the button, which is just added with a hammer. It's a simple denim button. And I'm also adding some little studs that are basically in order to replace the rivets that are added on the pocket seams to give them extra strength. I have to admit I'm pretty happy with them. Obviously they don't look exactly the same, but again, I went for recognizable, let's say. They are very nice and comfortable, I have to say, so I want to replicate them in different ways. They get me a lot of ideas. Hope you like them. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know what your favorite video game is. If you have one, leave a like and subscribe. That's a great help, and I'll see you next time. Bye, have a great day.